When Diddy's arrest made headlines last September, Katt Williams saw an opportunity. He jumped on Instagram stories and shared an AI-generated mashup of Diddy's mugshot blended with Wesley Snipes' character from New Jack City, captioning it, "Diddy about to snitch on everybody." The joke went viral. Fans everywhere echoed the sentiment. If anyone was going to flip to save himself, it would be Diddy. But Katt didn't stop with a one-liner. Long before the headlines, on his older podcasts, Katt casually dropped names like Tyler Perry, Ricky Smiley, Steve Harvey, and Ludacris. At the time, it all sounded like personal jabs or petty shade. Now, some of those same names, along with Jay-Z, Aaron Hall, Harv Pierre, and others, appear in actual court documents tied to the Diddy case. Turns out, Katt wasn't just joking. He was planting clues. And now, it's time to connect the dots between stand-up comedy and a federal scandal. Clip 1. Katt started with Tyler Perry. On the surface, it seemed like a comedian tossing shade, joking that Perry can't play a man to save his life. But behind the punchline lies a lesser-known truth. When Perry was still grinding out his first indie scripts, it was Diddy's team who stepped in. They helped fund his early films, arranged premieres in LA and New York, and handed out VIP invites to celebs eager for a first look. These behind-the-scenes boosts didn't make tabloid headlines, but they are there in the fine print. Diary of a Mad Black Woman, Media's family reunion. They might scream Tyler Perry on the surface, but the launchpad? It ran straight through the bad boy playbook. And then there's Ricky Smiley. Most people know him as a radio host and comedian, but few know where his real industry education began, at Diddy's private Atlanta parties. These weren't open events. They were strictly invite-only. Puff's crew controlled the guest list, and Ricky was lucky enough to make the cut. From there, he networked his way into radio gigs and eventually landed a hit TV show. Katt once joked that Smiley only shines in a dress, but the punchline has a sharper edge. It hints that Ricky's rise didn't start behind the mic. It started behind closed doors at Bad Boy headquarters. Long before the fame, the real work happened offstage, in rooms most people never knew existed. Then the streets started buzzing, because even Steve Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer weren't off limits. Katt accused Harvey of stealing a TV show concept he once pitched, and claimed Cedric lifted one of his best jokes nearly 20 years ago. On the surface, those sound like bitter comedy beefs made for headlines. But dig a little deeper, and there's a pattern. Both Steve and Cedric have shared stages with Diddy, not at parties, but at high-profile charity galas bankrolled by Bad Boy. They've hosted events meant to raise millions for education and youth programs. And every time they took the mic to thank Diddy, they weren't just being polite. They were strengthening a partnership. Those polished smiles and black-tie photos reveal something bigger, a quiet, powerful network of influence that most people watching at home never even notice. It even reaches into the church walls. Bishop T.D. Jakes once preached at a gospel concert sponsored by Diddy's team. From the outside, it looked like a worship event, but inside, it felt more like an album launch. Platinum seats, velvet ropes, branded press walls. The entire setup was crafted by Bad Boy's PR squad. Behind the hymns and sermons sat music execs and influencers, handpicked for visibility and status. Katt drops Jake's name in passing, calling him one of the big deviant figures likely to be exposed. It might sound like like an odd jab, but it speaks volumes. Because what Diddy mastered wasn't just music or marketing. It was the fusion of pop culture, power, and faith, all under one dark, twisted promotional umbrella. Kevin Hart gets his tone too, as what Katt calls an industry plot. According to Katt, Hart's biggest hits, from Ride Along to Night School, didn't just take off by chance. They moved forward only after passing through Diddy's circle. Look closely at the credits and you'll start to see the pattern. Puff's venture arm shows up, sometimes tied to the soundtrack, other times listed as an executive producer. Even Hart's stand-up specials landed on platforms where Bad Boy had existing distribution deals. These aren't coincidences. They paint a clear picture. Kevin Hart's rise to the top ran parallel to Diddy's influence. As for what was exchanged along the way, only Katt seems to know. There's even an alleged Illuminati connection when it comes to Kevin Hart. According to Katt, only an organization that powerful could land someone like Hart a $200 million contract. It sounds like half myth, half stand-up routine. But the real partnerships are undeniable that they've dropped verses on each other's albums, shared festival stages, and stood side by side during Biggie tribute shows. These aren't one-off moments. They're signs of a relationship built on long-term trust and mutual gain. Katt wraps it in conspiracy talk, but you don't need secret symbols to see the alliance. The power moves speak for themselves.